down. Okay. As I said before, in acceleration of free fall, the question will explain the motion of a skydiver, any object falling in air, okay, in terms of force and acceleration. So first, if we are talking about acceleration of free fall, we have to know acceleration of free fall equal g, and you know what is g equal? 9.8 meter per second squared. So if we want to explain free fall, you have to explain in absence of air resistance. So if there is no air resistance, the only force is what? Only force is weight, force of gravity. So we have constant force, and this is why we have constant acceleration, which equals g. In absence of air resistance, all objects fall with the same acceleration. This is called the acceleration of free fall, acceleration due to gravity, acceleration of free fall equal 9.81. What's meaning by acceleration of free fall equal 9.8? This means the velocity increase each second by 9.8. So this means that for every second, the velocity increased by 9.8. G is also called gravitational field strength. Gravitational field strength. Okay. Now, the next is what? Falling object with air resistance, like a skydiver, like a ball, a plastic ball, fall in air. Okay. So now, initially, the upward air resistance is very small because the skydiver isn't falling very quickly. So now what is the forces? What is the force? Initially, it will be weight downward. So initially, the only force exerted on the skydiver is what? Weight and acceleration equal g. As the skydiver speed up or accelerate, air resistance what? Increase, eventually growing large enough to balance the downward weight, which is force of weight. Okay, so now air resistance equal weight, resultant force equals 0. It means the force is in balance, so resultant force equals 0, and this is why acceleration equals 0. Okay, now the skydiver is moving with a constant velocity called what? Terminal velocity. Okay. Speed is called terminal velocity. You have to memorize all of this in terms of forces. So we start with force equal weight, acceleration equal g. As speed increase, if air resistance force increase, so resultant force decrease, so acceleration decrease. Finally, when if air balance weight, now if net equals 0, acceleration equals 0, velocity is constant, called terminal velocity. So if you want to make it simple, you can follow these steps to explain the motion of the skydiver in terms of what? In terms of force and acceleration. You have to mention two resultant force and acceleration. Any question? Next, after opening parachute, what happened? As parachute is opened, when the skydiver opened the parachute, the air resistance increased. Because what? Because the increase in surface area of parachute. Okay, then now the upward force, which is air resistance, greater than the weight. Okay, so the skydiver will decelerate. Eventually, the force balance again. So now, if you want to make it easy for you, so you can write after opening parachute. What happened? area increase, so air resistance increase, become larger than weight. So now resultant force will be upward. Acceleration upward. What it means? The object or the skydiver decelerate. As decelerate, speed decrease, so air resistance decrease again until balance, weight, and if net equals zero again, acceleration equals zero. This is the steps. How to memorize to describe what happened for the skydiver after opening parachute. Okay? Any question?
Sir, can you repeat one more time? The after the increased surface area of the parachute, can you repeat the last 3 points?
After opening parachute, what happened? Area increase, so air resistance increase, become larger than weight. Okay?
Okay.
So now resultant force become upward because the air resistance is greater than weight, like this. This is of upward, which is air resistance and weight. So now air resistance become greater than weight, so resultant force will be upward. Okay? So acceleration will be upward. It's against motion. So if the resultant force against motion, the object will decelerate. So resultant force upward and acceleration upward, now the object decelerates. As the object decelerates, what happened? Speed decrease. As the speed decrease, air resistance decrease again until balance weight and resultant force equals zero, acceleration equals zero again. Okay, Yahya?
Okay, Mr. Thank you.
You still need help? Any question? Mustafa Yusuf, Mustafa Hussein. Okay, do you have any question?
No, mister.
Okay. Now let's move to the next. Now the graph. In the graph, you have to mention to what happened in each part of the graph. So first we start with acceleration equal g. This is the greatest acceleration. Okay. After that, what happened to acceleration? Decrease. This is curve decreasing acceleration until acceleration equals zero. At this point, we have terminal velocity. Vt, it means terminal velocity. At terminal velocity, acceleration equals zero. Until this point. Now, what happened at this point? The skydiver opened the parachute. So now what happened? We have the greatest deceleration. The greatest deceleration. Negative acceleration. Okay, now after deceleration, what happened? Acceleration decrease again until acceleration equals zero again. Now this is the lower terminal velocity. Lower terminal velocity. Okay, so this is a function of the parachute to decrease the terminal velocity. Okay, Mister, what about the graph? In absence of air resistance, if there is no air resistance, what is the shape of the graph? This is time and velocity. In fact, it will be like this. It will be a straight line like this. Because what? Because we have a constant acceleration equal g. This is without, if no air. If there is no air, so now we have constant acceleration for this part. But if we have air, the graph will be like this. Okay? Okay. Now, what's meant by terminal velocity? I need to write a definition for terminal velocity. Who can tell me what's the definition of terminal velocity? In fact, terminal velocity is constant velocity and maximum. So I will start with terminal velocity is maximum constant velocity. Okay, when a resistance, or we can write it in simple way, when F net resultant force equal what? 0. The following object reached his terminal velocity when a resistance balance weight. Terminal velocity increase as weight increase and decrease as a resistance decrease. Okay, so this is the factors that affect terminal velocity, weight and a resistance. Any question? Now I have a question.
Mister, I have a question.
Yes, Mohammed.
Does the surface area affect terminal velocity?
Because surface
Like,
area affects the air resistance, Muhammad, so it will affect what? The terminal velocity. Okay?
okay, thank you, sir.
This is why we open parachute, to increase surface area, to increase the air resistance. Okay? Now the terminal velocity decreased. If we have a ball, this ball is falling in air and hit the water surface. Then after hitting the water surface, it becomes at this depth and stopped. Maybe it will what? It will float again. So we need to draw the graph for the ball falling and reach to terminal velocity before hitting the surface of water. So to draw this graph, it will act like what? Skydiver. So now the acceleration decrease until become 0, then it will become like this again. But because it will stop, so it will be like this. Okay, the velocity becomes 0 at the maximum depth. Okay, because when the ball hits the water surface, it will be affected by a high resistive force from the water. So now it look like what it look like to opening parachute, for example. Okay, so now you can draw it like this. Any question? So I will write the explanation as ball is falling. Okay, it starts due to only weight with acceleration equal g. As ball accelerates, what happened? Air resistance increase. So what happened to resultant force? Decrease. And so acceleration also decrease until air resistance balance weight and F net equals 0, acceleration equals 0. Now, when the ball hit the water surface, agreed resistive force exerted on the ball. So the ball decelerate. Okay? Until resistive force balance weight F net equals to. Any question? So as you see, all this part, you have to memorize it. Yani keep it in your mind.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So isn't increasing acceleration supposed to be um, like opposite to air resistance? Isn't acceleration supposed to be
Muhammad, we don't have increasing acceleration.
no? Like you said at the beginning, as the ball accelerates, air resistance increase.
Okay. Air resistance increase and I said F net decrease and acceleration decrease, not increase, Muhammad.
Okay.
Muhammad, the maximum acceleration equal G, Muhammad. Okay.
Okay.
In air. Okay. But maximum acceleration, maybe it will be bigger in water, for example. Okay. So I'm talking about acceleration. The maximum acceleration is what? Is G. Okay. Next. Now this is a table for same meaning. Okay. So I have to move. Now this question. I will start with Salma. This
Do I
question,
read the
please.
question?
Yes.
A heavy metal ball falls vertically to downwards through air past four equally spaced levels, J, K, L, and M. The time taken to fall from one level to the next are measured. Where is the speed of the ball greatest and which time is the shortest? D.
So we need the greatest speed. Where is the greatest speed? Because as the ball falling, due to acceleration equal G, speed increase. So the highest speed will be at this
The lowest
point.
point.
Yes, so it will be between L and M. And also because it has the highest speed, it will be the shortest time. This is why we have to choose D. Okay, now Yahya,
Yes, sir.
can you solve this one?
A brass ball and the feather are released at the same time on Earth. The ball reaches the ground first. On the moon, they reach the ground the same time. What's the explanation for this? Um,
Okay, tell me why
there is
this happened.
there is no resistance in the moon.
Yes, because there is no air on the moon. Okay, there is no air resistance on the moon is correct. This is why we said the heavy object and the light object will reach to the ground with the same time if we don't have air resistance. Okay, thank you.
But I have a
Next.
question.
Yes.
Don't they also put way lower at the moon?
Okay.
So why wouldn't it be B? The option B.
Okay. So again, you want to choose B, right? Okay, but again, the question is why both objects reach to the ground together? Is this due to weight or because we don't have air resistance, Mustafa?
Because we don't have air resistance.
Thank you. So the answer is D.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's move to the next. I will choose you, Mustafa, now. This is your turn.
Yes.
Mustafa, yes.
Um, I think for question 57, right?
Mm. Can
I
you read
think
it?
a light object is dropped from rest. It falls a large distance vertically through air. How can the motion of the object be described?
Okay.
Um, Okay, I think, Mister, decreasing acceleration and then moving at terminal velocity.
Yes, so this is the correct answer. Because as I said, if the object moving a long distance in air, what happened? Air resistance increase, so resultant force decrease and the acceleration decrease until F net equals zero, acceleration equals zero, terminal velocity is exceeded, okay, or reached. Okay, so now this is correct answer. C. Thank you, Mustafa Yusuf. Now, Mu'tasim.
Um, a parachutist is following the terminal velocity without her parachute open. She now opens her parachute. What is the direction of her motion and what is the direction of her acceleration immediately after she opens her parachute?
Okay,
B.
B. Right. Because what? Because he's still moving downward, he's still falling, so the direction of motion is downward. And as he opened parachute, as I said, acceleration will be upward. So now he starts to decelerate. So B is correct. Thank you, Mu'tasim. Now Mustafa Khalid.
Excuse me, sir, can you explain direction of acceleration again? I didn't understand.
Okay, again. After opening parachute, what's happening, Yahya? Now we have a greater air resistance than weight, right? Okay,
Yes.
okay. So now, where is the net force? Net force will be up because it's the same direction of the greatest force, okay?
Okay, sir.
And because F net equal mass multiply acceleration, acceleration takes the same direction of F net. This is why acceleration also upward.
Ah, okay. Thank you, sir.
And also because the object decelerate, it must be, acceleration must be in opposite direction of motion, okay? Now it's your
Okay,
turn,
yes.
Mustafa Khalid.
Uh, a stone is dropped from rest at a height of 2 meters above the surface of a planet. The planet has no atmosphere. The speed of the stone just before reaching the surface of the planet is 3.8 meters per second. What is the acceleration of free fall on the planet?
Okay.
أستاذ يعني calculate ازاي؟
Okay, now I said we have this equation v squared equal u squared plus 2a s. S is distance. Okay, so now we have initial velocity equals 0, and we have distance traveled, and we have final velocity. And he asked about acceleration. So now I can write 3.8 squared equals 0 squared plus 2 multiply a multiply 2. Now 3.8 squared equal 4a. To find the acceleration, it will be 3.8 squared over 4. Do anyone have a question?
Mister, can't I just use the normal formula for acceleration, which is v minus u over t, or do I have to use this one?
Because Salma, we don't have time in this question.
أستاذ معلش عادي can you repeat this question?
Again, he asked you to find the acceleration, okay? The object starts falling from rest, so u equals 0. From height, so distance traveled is 2 meters. Okay, and it reached to the surface with final velocity equal 3.8. Find the acceleration. So the only equation can be used is what? This one. Because he asked you to find the acceleration and we don't have time. Okay? Any question?
Mister, I have a question.
Yes.
Um, this formula for this formula and the v minus u over t and the f equals ma. These are the only formulas you have to know for finding the acceleration, right?
With this one. In acceleration,
لا
we have three, in fact, Muhammad. We have acceleration equal v minus u over time. We have v squared equal u squared plus 2as. Finally, we have F net equal mass multiply acceleration. This is only three formulas to memorize in the test.
okay, for the whole
If we
syllabus, right?
have change in velocity v and u and the time, you can use this one. If you have a change in velocity v and u and the s distance, you can use this one. If you have forces and the mass, you can use this one. And
So
in
these
fact,
are
in this example, we have only distance and initial velocity and the final velocity. We don't have mass, for example. Okay?
okay. So these are the only three formulas you have to know for acceleration.
Yes. Okay. Now the next. I will start with you, Salma, again. Now we have Abdurrahman also. Okay, so I will start with you, Abdurrahman. What do you think? You join late or you attend what we start to explain?
No, I joined late.
Okay, so I will start with you, Salma.
A concrete block falls vertically from an aeroplane. The concrete block falls into the sea and sinks. Which graph shows the vertical motion of the concrete block? C.
Course C will be correct because what, as I said, now the object is falling in air. So now what happened to acceleration? It starts with acceleration equals g, then acceleration decrease until acceleration equals 0 before hitting the water surface. So now we have this one is correct and this one is correct. Okay? But both this is incorrect because in this one acceleration increase, acceleration increase. So I can't choose A and B. So in this one acceleration decrease, acceleration decrease. So I have to choose between C and D. After that, when the object hits the water surface, what happened? He decelerates. Okay, he's still decelerating until what? Until balance between resistive force and weight. So now we can choose this one because it's look like what? The skydiver motion. Okay, so C is correct. We cannot choose deceleration until becomes 0. Okay? Any question? Let's move to the next. Now we will talk about mass and weight. What's the difference between mass and weight? The definition of mass, the amount of matter in an object, or the quantity of matter in an object at rest. But weight is the force of gravity on the object due to what? Its mass. Okay, now, Mustafa Khalid, what's the type of quantity? Mass, scalar or a vector quantity?
Scale.
Scalar. Okay, what about weight?
Vector.
Okay, now Muhammad, explain why mass is a scalar.
Scalar mass is a scalar quantity as it has magnitude only and does not have direction.
Yes. Doesn't have
But sir, I have a question. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I have a question.
direction. About what, Muhammad?
So you said that mass is the amount of matter on an object at rest. So it differs if the object is moving.
Because sometimes if the object moving, the mass affected by this motion, you have apparent mass, for example. This is why the definition contain what? Object at rest, relative to the observer. Like what? Like the mass of planets, for example.
So it is not always fixed.
Muhammad, the mass is fixed. Okay, I said the mass is the same. There is no change in mass. But in a specific or yeah, sometimes, okay, we cannot consider the mass is constant if the object is moving with a high speed, for example. Okay, but we don't study high speed objects. Okay, so in igcse, mass is constant. Okay, if you move from one planet to another planet, mass is the same. Okay,
Okay.
so until you study something else in next years, mass is the same. This is the definition of mass, the amount of quantity in the object. Okay, it measures the quantity of matter in an object. Okay, at rest. Now, Abdurrahman, explain why weight is vector.
Because it has a magnitude and direction.
Yes, because it has a direction. Now, what is the unit of mass? It's kilogram. And the unit of weight is Newton because weight is a type of force. How it can be measured, Mustafa Hussein? How can we measure mass? Using what?
We can measure it by using a balance.
Yes. What about weight?
We can measure it using a Newton meter.
Yes, perfect. The effect of measuring, of increasing g. In fact, if acceleration of free fall increase, mass same. There is no change in mass. The only change in weight because weight equal mass multiply g. So if g increased, what happened to weight? Also increase. So the weight is affected by gravitational field strength. Now mass has two effects. Greater mass, stronger the gravitational field, gravitational pull, which means a greater weight. And also greater mass, greater resistance to change in motion. Like, for example, if we have a truck, greater mass. So it's difficult to change the motion of the truck. But because the bicycle has a less mass, it's easy to change its motion. It's easy to be stopped or to move. Now gravitational force, weight, symbol is W. Muhammad Abdul Ati,
So I
what's the
have question.
direction of
So I have question.
Yes, Yahya.
For the can you go up?
Yes.
For the second point, the greater the mass, the greater the resistance to change in motion. I don't really يعني what do you mean by like the greater the resistance to change in motion يعني? Can you
For
repeat again?
example, for example, Yahya, if you want to change the motion of the truck, can you? The truck is
Yes.
moving and you want to stop it. Can you using your hand to stop the truck?
Oh no.
Can you?
No.
But can you using your hand? Can you move the bicycle?
Yes.
Why? What's the difference between them?
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what is the direction, Muhammad? What is the direction of weight?
Are you okay? The direction of weight,
Yes.
the gravitational field strength.
When I said what's the
Sorry,
direction of weight, I mean
the
force of
downward pull.
gravity.
The
It will be
downward pull.
downward. Why downward? In fact, it's not downward. It's towards the center of the Earth. And because this is the Earth, and we consider we are talking about a surface of Earth, it will be down. Okay. So all of this is the surface of Earth. So because it's towards the center of the Earth, it will be what? Down. In this part, it will be down. In this part, it will be down like this. Okay. So the force of weight always drawn downward because its direction towards the center of the earth. Definition of weight is the downward pull from the earth to the object. Weight equal mg. So you can write it in the triangle, weight equal mg. Now, a very important thing, don't forget to add unit. Newton for weight and mass must be in kilogram. You can't write mass in gram and find weight. Weight equal mass in kilogram multiply g, and g always 9.8 on Earth. If we move to Moon or any planet, he have to give you the gravitational field strength of the planet. Okay? Now, what is the definition of gravitational field? Gravitational field is the region in which mass experience a force due to a gravitational attraction. For example, if this is the Earth and this is the gravitational field, what it means? It means any object inside this region affected by force of attraction from Earth. Okay? So we consider the moon in this field. This is why the moon orbits the Earth. But outside this region, there is no force. The object can move freely away. Okay? So the object don't need to orbit the Earth because there is no force of gravity. So gravitational field is the region in which a mass, any mass, experiences a force due to a gravitational attraction. Gravitational field strength, what is the definition of it? To find G, it will be weight over mass. So the definition is what? The force per unit mass. Also, you can write the weight per unit mass. The weight over mass. All accepted. Okay? Now I have some examples about gravitational field strength, also known as acceleration free fall. The value of G depends on what? Both. Depend on mass and the radius of the planet. Okay? So now as you see, the sun has 99.9% of the mass of the solar system. So what is the acceleration of free fall of the sun? 293. As mass and radius decrease, what happened to G? Decrease. Okay? Except طبعا if you see Uranus, because it has a larger diameter but less mass, because this is a gaseous planet. Okay? But as you see, the moon is the less mass. Okay? So now the lightest one, so it will be less G, or the smallest gravitational field strength. Now I have a question. A box has a mass 500 gram and weight 30 Newton on a planet. Find the gravitational field strength of this planet. Mustafa Hussein, can you solve this question for me?
Okay. To find the gravitational field strength, we need to do weight divided by mass.
Yes. G equal weight divided by mass. Perfect.
Okay. So we'd write 30 divided by 500,
Yes.
which would give us 0.06 Newton/kilogram.
Thank you, Mustafa. Who disagree with Mustafa?
Me.
Yes,
Me.
Salma. Why Salma?
Mr. The mass is 500 grams. You need it in kilograms, so you need to convert the 500 grams to kilograms.
Perfect. How can I convert it? Divide by can.
That's 1,000.
1,000.
By 1,000.
Yes, now the mass is half. Do you know what's your mistake, Mustafa, now?
Yes.
So now what is the answer?
60.
60. So as I said, don't forget, if you draw your triangle, weight, mass, G, mass must be in kilogram. Okay? If the mass of the box on the moon equal 20 kilogram, where G equal 1.7. What is the mass of the box on the Earth, where G equal 9.8? Abdurrahman, can you solve this question?
مستر وحضرتك قصدك الويت ولا
Abdurrahman,
Yes.
he said the mass
Mass.
of the box on the moon, 20 kilogram. And G on the moon is 1.7. What is the mass of the box on the Earth, where G equal 9.8? What do you think?
Mass equals weight multiplied by gravity.
Weight multiply gravity. In fact, if you want to use this equation, weight at the top, mg. So if you want to find mass, it will be weight over G.
Oh.
So you want to continue? Okay. So now, Muhammad, you ask about something. What's your question?
No, I was just asking because like the mass is always constant on every planet. It's the weight that changes. So I
Yes, this is
thought
my
you.
question. Yes. So this is a tricky question, Abdurrahman. Okay. Abdurrahman, you have to know what mass stays the same at any planet. So now, if you travel to moon, your mass stays the same, but your weight will change. Okay? This is why I said, now, let's move again to the table. So Abdurrahman, pay attention. If G increase, what it means if we change a planet? Okay? What happened to the mass, Abdurrahman?
It says the same.
Same. But weight will be affected because what weight depends on the gravitational field strength. Because weight is the force of gravity on the object, and it's different from what a planet to another planet. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So pay attention for the tricky question, especially in paper 2. Mass doesn't change. Mass is the same, so the answer is mass equal 20 kilogram. No change in mass. Now we will move to density. Okay. Density definition come from what? The equation. Density equal mass over volume. Symbol of density called rho. So now density equal mass over volume. What's the unit of density? It depends on what is the unit of mass. If mass in kilogram and the volume is meter cube, so now density unit will be kilogram per meter cube. Okay. Density
أنا عندي
equal mass over volume. What if the mass unit is gram and volume is centimeter cube? Density will be gram per centimeter cube. So now the units of density, we have SI unit, which equal kilogram per meter cube. And other units, you can see it as gram per centimeter cube. Yes, Yahya, what's your question?
لا أستاذ أنا كان عندي سؤال.
First, Yahya, then you. Yahya, do you have a
خلاص.
question?
No, sir.
Okay, Mustafa. Okay, Mustafa Khalid, you can ask.
أستاذ هو إيه الفرق بين density و pressure؟
This is a quantity, and this is another quantity, but they use a similar letter. Yeah, but in fact, this is what Rho, not P. This is rho.
خلاص ماشي.
So I don't talk about pressure. Pressure is a quantity, force over area, but density is mass over volume. Okay?
Okay.
Like Mustafa and Muhammad, different students. Okay? So the definition of density equal mass per unit volume, or the ratio of the mass on object and its volume. So the definition comes from what? The equation. Okay? Density will decide if the object will float or sink in the liquid. The SI unit of density is kilogram per cubic meter. Okay? To convert density from gram centimeter cube to kilogram meter cube, you have to multiply in 1000. So from gram per centimeter cube to kilogram per meter cube, you have to multiply in 1000. Okay? For example, the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, but 1000 kilogram per meter cube. Now let's move to gases, for example, are less dense. Why the gases has a less dense? If we take same volume, so this object has same volume. So as you see, now because the gas particles is farther apart, so in this volume, we have low number of particles. So now the mass is less. Density equal mass over volume. If volume is the same, less mass, less density. So less number of particles, less dense. High mass, high density. Because we said same volume. What if the mass is constant? If mass is the same, greater volume, lower density. Greater volume, lower density. Now the question is, Salma, the highly dense object will float or sink? High dense.
Sink.
Thank you. Okay. Now, Abdurrahman, the low dense object will float or sink?
Float.
Yes, perfect. Now, we have finished last time the equation of volume, okay, for regular shape objects. We have cube, we have rectangular block, we have a cylinder. In fact, volume equal area multiply height. So for cylinder, who can tell me what is the volume of cylinder?
My answer, sir.
Yes, Yahya.
You do 0.85 cylinder. It is the height
Yes.
times by the r, and then you times it by pi r squared.
So now the volume of cylinder is pi r squared because the area is a circle multiply height. This is the volume of the cylinder. What about rectangular block? Mustafa Hussein. What's the volume? It has length and width and height.
Uh, it's going to be volume equals length times width times height.
Perfect. Now, if we have a cube, Salma, length, because the cube has the same dimensions, okay?
Length times length times length.
So it can
أو
be written
length
as
cubed.
cubic L, right? Okay, which mean length multiply length multiply length.
أيوة ما أنا قلت الكيوبد بعدين.
Okay, okay, thank you, Salma. You are correct.
يا أستاذ
Yes.
معلش في الامتحان هيكون كاتب لنا الفورمولات صح؟ ولا
مفيش أي
هتبقى
فورمولا شيت في الامتحان يا مصطفى.
يعني لازم نحفظها.
Course.
تمام.
Formula sheet only in Excel, not in Cambridge. Okay? Now I will ask Muhammad to solve this example.
Okay, sir. Okay, me. Okay. So first you'll multiply 0.85 multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 0.04 to get the volume. And
So
then you
now
will
I will
do,
start with volume equal length multiply width multiply height. You can write the number directly 0.85 multiply 0.5 multiply 0.04. And because all of this in meter, the answer will be in meter cube. And
cubed.
they must be with the same unit, meter, meter, meter. Okay? So now
Okay,
what
and
is the
then,
result, Muhammad?
so, 1 second, sir, because
Do you have a calculator?
no, I lost mine.
I can find the answer.
It's 0.017.
0.017.
And then we will do 73 over 0.017.
Now the next, Muhammad, tell me what is the equation.
Mass density equals mass over volume.
Yes, you can't write the number directly, okay? First, the
Yeah.
equation. So mass is 73 and the volume is 0.017. Now, what is the result?
It's 4,294.11 but we can round it down to 4,000. No, no, sorry. Because it's given two significant figures, so we round it to two significant figures.
Yes.
So we can round it to 4,300.
So
Yeah.
Abdurrahman, as you see, Muhammad, as you see, Abdurrahman, okay, two significant figure. The maximum is two significant figure. So my answer will be two significant figure. And the unit will be kilogram per meter cube. So until now, we have density equal mass over volume. Now, how to measure the density? How to find density? You need to find the mass and the volume. To find the mass, we use balance. So this is the experiment. You can read it. Okay? I will skip it because you can read it and you can ask next time if you have a question. Now, this is a question for Yahya.
Yes, sir. And the depth of the liquid is 10 centimeter. The depth of the liquid is 10 centimeter. And the radius of the cylinder is 3. The weight of the cylinder is 2.5 Newton. Calculate the density.
So we need to find density.
Yes.
Yes.
Density equals mass over volume, but there is no mass, so you do mass equals weight over gravitational. So 2.5 over 9.8, which is 2.5 divided by 9.8, 0.26, and then um, you calculate the area, calculate the volume of the cylinder, which is pi r squared times by height. But I think عشان you have to calculate the density of the liquid, so you multiply by the height of the liquid. So pi r squared, which is 3 squared times by 10.
First, because we have mass in kilogram, Yahya, the volume must be in meter cube, okay?
Yeah.
So now I have to divide by 100 here and divide by 100 here, okay?
Okay.
So now R is 0.03 and the depth is 0.1. Now it's in meter. Okay?
Yes.
Now what is the volume equal?
Volume equals 0.003.
3 what?
لا 28 0.0028.
Okay. Now continue.
So then to calculate density, do mass over volume, so 0.26 over 0.0028. which equals 900 equals 920 920 920 اسمه ايه kilogram per meter cubed.
So any question? Do you understand, Abdurrahman? What did we do?
Yes, I understood.
Okay, Muhammad and Mustafa, all of you understood?
I have a question.
Yes, Yahya.
Is it okay if I multiply by centimeter بعدها I just write the answer centimeter cubed?
Okay, and the next step is what? After finding the volume in centimeter cube?
Then I can either divide it or just keep on going, and then I write the final answer as density and then kilogram per centimeter cubed.
If it is a suitable number, it's okay, but sometimes it will be a small number, kilogram per centimeter cube, it will be small. So we prefer to use gram per centimeter cube, small mass unit and small volume unit, and the kilogram per meter cube for greater mass unit and greater volume unit. So we prefer both of this, Yahya. Okay, in physics, we don't care, but because the mark scheme will be given in this one and this one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And of course, the examiner will follow the mark scheme. So ensure you are using the right unit. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the right unit, this one or this one. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's move to the next. We can solve some questions about density from the past paper. So now I will move to past paper to practice on some questions.
Sir, so we won't do forces today?
First, we will practice, then we can continue, no problem.
Okay.
To ensure you understand. So now I will start with you, Salma.
مش شايفة الشاشة.
Sorry, Salma, it's my fault. Okay, so now, Salma, we are in page 10 from the classified. So now we need to solve this question.
Do I read the question ولا؟
Yes, please.
All the sides of a plastic cube are 8 centimeters long. The mass of the cube is 0.44 kilograms. Explain what is meant by mass.
The amount of what?
Matter.
Yes. In the object at rest, right? Relative to the observer. Okay, next. Calculate the density of the plastic from which the cube is made. So, Salma, what is the equation of density?
Mass over volume.
Perfect. Mass over volume. So now, do we have mass?
0.44.
0.44. What about volume?
8 cubed.
Yes, 8 cubed because we have 8 because this is a cube. Perfect. So now we have centimeter and kilogram. So what do you think? What should we do?
Convert the kilogram into grams.
As you like. So It will be 0.44 multiply
1000.
1000. Perfect. Divided by 8 cubic 8. Okay, so now what is the result?
هو أنا لازم أحط البراكتس على الكالكوليتر؟
No, you don't need to do it.
1.678.
What? Sorry?
1.678.
1.678. What is the unit?
لا wait ثواني 0.859.
0.859. So now I will write it as what?
grams per centimeter cubed.
0.86 because we have two significant figures, Salma, right?
Okay. Oh,
Okay, and the unit is?
gram per centimeter cubed.
Okay, now it's your turn, Yahya.
Yes, sir. Do you call my name?
Yes.
Okay. The density of one of um, I think it will float.
Oh, it will
Oh
float,
no, no,
Yahya.
sink. Sorry, sink. I think it will sink.
Now, as you see, Salma, okay, you find the density in gram per centimeter cube. And the second part of the question has density what? Kilogram per
Kilogram
meter
per
cube.
meter cubed.
And to decide to solve the question, you need to compare. So now you need to do what? To convert this one or this one, Yahya. You need to convert. Because before taking the decision to answer, you have to compare between two densities with the same unit. Okay, Yahya?
Yes, sir.
So now state and explain. So now, which one you will convert? This one or this one?
I think
Take
I'll
your decision.
convert
Huh.
the oil.
Okay, so tell me what is the answer?
I do 850 divided. I mean 850 multiply 1,000, and then
850
multiply.
multiply 1000?
Yes, to make it to gram.
No. I said مرة واحدة بس مش هنقعد نعملها in details يا يحيى. Okay, I said again from gram per centimeter cube to kilogram per meter cube multiply 1000. If you want to do the opposite divide by 1000 مرة واحدة مش هنعملها in details ها.
Okay.
طيب what is your decision?
850 divided. Yes, it will sink because the answer the density of the oil is 0.85 gram per centimeter cubed, and the density of the cube is higher, so it will sink.
Okay, so
So
the
cube will
density of
sink.
the plastic is 0.86 and the density of the oil is 0.85, so the
Yes,
plastic ball will sink, right?
yes,
So in your answer, you have to write like this. 0.85 is less than 0.86, so the ball, or the cube? The cube.
cube
The cube will what?
the cube
Sink.
will sink.
Okay, do you understand, Abdurrahman?
Yes.
Muhammad, do you understand?
Yes, I do understand, but sir, why from grams per centimeter cubed to kilograms per meter cubed, you multiply by 1000? Isn't kilograms supposed to be bigger than grams? So you
You
divide
have
by
to
1,000.
discover this and tell me in the next tuition how this happened.
Sorry?
You have to discover it by yourself and tell me next tuition how this happened. Okay.
Okay. Also, I think I understand because from centimeter cube to
خلاص
uh,
محمد, tomorrow you will explain it on the board.
so on Sunday, you mean?
Okay. Now let's move to the next. So now I will choose Abdurrahman. Calculate the mass of the liquid. We have density, and this is a measuring cylinder, and they ask you to find the mass.
So mass equals density multiplied by volume.
Density is 950. What is the volume?
80.
80 or 81 or 82 or 83. Because, okay,
82.
0, 1, 2, 4, 6. Oh, this is 10. This is 20. This is 30, 40, like this. So this is 80.
82.
82. So this is 82. Okay. So now 82. What is the result?
77900.
77900. What is the unit?
Kilogram per meter cube.
We finding in mass.
Kilogram.
Okay, who disagree? So now, Abdurrahman, all the students agree with you. So this is correct answer. Okay. This will be correct in Cambridge, but with me, it's not correct. Do you know why, Abdurrahman?
No.
Mister, because he didn't convert centimeters to meter.
Of course, بص يا Abdurrahman, in the unit of the density, the volume in meter cube, but while in the question, the unit is centimeter cube, so you have to convert. Okay?
Yes.
So can you convert? Huh? Will you convert mass or volume?
Volume.
Okay. How can you convert 82 centimeter cube?
2 meter.
Yes, 2 meter cube.
Will divide by 100.
You will divide by 100 cube. Do you know why?
Because
From
the
centimeter to meter, Abdurrahman, you will divide by 100. For centimeter squared to meter squared, you have to divide by 100 squared because centimeter squared is centimeter multiply centimeter. So you have to divide two times, okay?
yes.
Centimeter cube to meter cube, you have to divide by 100 cube, okay?
Okay.
So now it will be 82 divided by 100 cube.
100.
Now what is the result?
0.0779. 779
0.0779.
kilogram. No.
So it will be written as
Yes.
0.78 kilogram. Okay? 0.78 kilogram. The next. Now it's your turn, Muhammad. I think we are only four. Yahya, Mustafa, Muhammad, Abdurrahman. Salma left, right?
لا أستاذة موجود.
ها؟
سلمى
أنا
موجودة.
شايفكم كلكم.
أنا موجودة.
أنا مش شايفكم كلكم. طيب يعني أوكي. So I still have Farida join, okay, and Mu'tasim. Okay, so all of you. Farida, Mu'tasim, Salma, Yahya. Okay, okay. Let's continue. Now I will ask you, Farida, for this question.
The object sinks because it has a higher density than the liquid.
The object will sink
Since it has a higher density than the liquid.
because it has a higher density. Okay. Than liquid. Okay. Now it's your turn, Muhammad. Describe how the volume of the object can now be determined.
Uh, sorry, sir. Okay, so first, you have to measure the volume of the water first, and then when you place the object in, find the new volume, and then subtract V2 minus V1 to get the volume of the ball.
So now you can
Sorry,
write
of the
volume of
object.
object equal volume of water and the steel
So we do, so we do V2 minus
minus
V1.
volume of liquid, right?
Yes.
You can write it as equation, يعني.
So V2 minus V1.
Okay, but you can't write V2 minus V1 before define the V2 and V1. So as
Okay.
you said, find the volume of the liquid V1, read the volume of the liquid after inserting the object inside the liquid will be V2, then volume of the object will be V2 minus V1.
Sir, we don't need to say read from bottom of meniscus or make sure
No,
your
no,
eyes
because it only has
perpendicular.
one
We don't
mark.
need.
It only has one mark.
Oh, okay.
So now, Farida again, because you joined late. Farida again.
Explain why the cylinder floats. Because it has a lower density than the liquids.
Because it has a less density than liquid. Okay, this is why it float. So all of this easy question. Now, we solved it before. Now let's move to this one. Abdurrahman.
Mass equals volume multiplied by density,
Yes.
and 1300 multiply 1.4 times 10 power 15.
Okay, so what is mass equal?
.2
Yes.
multiply 10 power 18
What is the
uh,
unit?
kilogram.
Now let's move to Mu'tasim. This question.
Uh, the ship is made of steel. The density of steel is 7,800 kilogram meter cubed, and the density of water is 1,000 kilogram per meter cubed. Explain why the ship floats in water. Because the ship has some hollow spaces, and it's not all made out of steel. There's some wood.
So you can write the average density,
Is lower than the water.
yes, of the ship is lower than the density of liquid or water, right? Perfect. Now the next. So I am asking you, Mustafa Yusuf.
Okay, Mr. Do you want me to read the question or?
Just read it and solve it.
Okay. Oil of density is 0.80 gram per centimeter cube is poured gently onto the surface of water of density 1.0 gram slash centimeter cube. The oil and water do not mix. Describe and explain the final position of the oil relative to the water. Uh, the oil would not sink and would stay on the surface of the water because
And
it is
instead,
less
oh,
dense.
yes, yes, perfect. يعني it will float, right?
Yes, yes.
On the water. Explanation?
Because it is less dense than the water.
Yes, less dense. Okay, perfect, Mustafa.
Thank you.
Now I will ask Abdurrahman for this one. B. BII.
Mass equals volume multiplied by density.
Okay.
So 2.7 multiply 83.
So what is the answer?
224.1
So what is
kilogram.
kilogram? Sure.
Hmm?
Sure, kilogram.
Yes.
You have to check for the unit of mass and density.
Ah,
Abdurrahman, what is the unit of density?
grams per centimeter cube.
So mass will be in gram, not kilogram.
Grams.
Okay? And if you want to write the final answer, it will be two significant figure only. So it will be 220 grams.
0.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go back to this one again. So now we will talk about force. Now do you see my force? Farida.
Yes.
Force is a scalar or vector quantity.
Vector.
Right. What is the SI unit of force?
Newton.
Newton. I can be measured using what?
اسمها ايه؟ آم،
Newton meter.
صح.
It's easy. Now, force can it change speed? Can it change direction? Also, can it change shape, like stretching or compressing or deforming objects? Okay? So
Okay.
it can make the object speed up, slow down. It can change the direction. Now, we have some examples of forces. We have upthrust, weight, tension, friction, thrust, and air resistance. Upthrust is the force, upward force from the liquid or gas that makes something fluid. So this is upthrust force. Okay?
تمام.
So this is up because the direction is always upward.
Up.
Weight is the force of gravity and it's always to the center of the earth. Tension force, a force affect any object stretched or compressed or
Okay.
splashed. Finally, friction, we said friction is the force opposite
Opposite.
motion direction.
Mhm.
Thrust is the forward force from the engine of a car, aircraft engine like this. Finally, air
تمام.
resistance is a type of friction. So any
Okay.
question in this part?
All good.
Now I think we will keep next time. I will explain next time Hooke's law. because it will take a longer time. So we can stop here. And thank you for all of you to leave the holiday or the weekend يعني, and stay with me online. So thank you for all of you. See you next Friday, inshallah. Do you have any question?
Sir, I just have one question. It's yeah, it's related to this topic.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yes. What's
it's
your
relating to
question?
Hooke's law.
Next time we will. Okay. What is your question?
Uh,
Which page?
can I say it when everyone leaves? Is it okay?
No, no. If they can, they can listen to us. Okay.
There's a question. It's about Hooke's law. I don't know if you give it to us or no, but recently in Hooke's law there was like a formula about series in a spring.
Two springs in series and the parallel.
Yes, this
Not
one.
now, Muhammad. Not now.
But he gave it. He said that it's part of Unit 1.
I know, but I sometimes I keep some points. Not now. Before when we solve questions in the past paper.
Okay.
Okay. But if you have a question, you can tell me, because in fact, parallel and series connection for springs, it will be in AS level. Okay. This is why I can't teach you the springs parallel and series connection. Okay. Until you can solve all questions about what Hooke's law. After that, I can teach you if you have two springs connected in parallel, what happened to the spring constant, what happened to the force, like this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
All good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I'll see you next week, inshallah. See you tomorrow. Bye. Don't be late. Tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Good night. Have a nice
Good.
day.
Good
Okay.
night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye, Sam. Bye.
Bye, Misty.
Bye, Sam.